what is the actual value of AMC? Currently, it's trading at $15, but is that actual value? Fundamentally, what is AMC actually worth? If you're an AMC bull and you believe that AMC is going to $1,000, you might want to go ahead and just exit this video right now, because there's going to be some truths in this video that you might not want to see. So let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and well, today we're talking more about AMC. What is AMC actually worth? What is the value? A couple things we're going to talk about today very simply. We're going to talk about the short interest, we're going to talk about the float, and we're going to talk about the actual value of what AMC is worth heading into the future here. And the news today that the CEO of the company is working on refinancing $500 million worth of debt on the books here for AMC. What is going on? First, let's look at the chart. All right. So AMC this morning selling off once again. The overall market is green, so I don't want to hear anybody commenting below about how the market's selling off, so that's why AMC is selling off. One thing that I do want to point out here is look at the volume yesterday, my friends. On this daily candle, look at the amount of selling volume that came in there. Everyone says that nobody's selling, but someone is clearly selling. Something is going on here. Why is the value of AMC continuing to go lower while nobody is selling? And I'm not going to believe that it's manipulation that's causing the price of AMC to go down. It's just the idea that people are actually selling. You know, when you buy, when you sell, and there's more people trying to sell than to buy, well, the value of the stock goes lower. Clearly, by looking at the chart here, since June, there's been more and more sellers than buyers, and the value, the demand is going lower and lower. Now, looking here at the chart, I was hoping for a move to the upside here. I was thinking maybe AMC could push up here, but getting denied, very much just getting denied at that $18 to $19 level yesterday. It couldn't even push. The high yesterday was $18.71. It couldn't even break over $19 yesterday here. What is going on AMC? You can see that support and resistance there at the $14.50, the $14.50 area there. Right, kind of like $14 being support. So what I'm thinking now is AMC will continue to go lower. It's going to now just break right through that support, and we're going to head to single digits. Now that I said that, AMC might pop to 30. So get ready and buy your call options, or just buy the stock if you think I'm going to be wrong, because I know everyone's going to comment, you're going to be wrong just like you're always wrong. But the funny thing is, well, the stock keeps going lower. Now, let's talk about a couple different things that I want to talk about very quickly here in this video, because you know, I just want to put out some actual information where a lot of YouTubers that talk about AMC don't actually talk about the information. They just talk about the theories and the ideas of MOAS. Now, if we look here at the short interest, we're looking at the Ortex short interest. I know all of your favorite YouTubers use this, so you know you can't say that I'm wrong by using this information. This is actual, I guess, you know, information based on what's out there and all of that. So currently, right now, there's 115 million shares on loan. And there's been a little increase in that on that as well. So for the short interest, we got the short interest as well starting to decrease when you look at the overall free float. I know a lot of people talk about the naked shorts. There's all these naked shorts out there, but I still have not actually seen any proof of this being real. That the idea of, you know, billions of naked shorts being out there is just a fantasy, my friends. It's just not reality. You can't just create billions and billions of naked shorts, of synthetic shares. It's just not possible. And the thing is, at this point, really, it wouldn't be that hard to cover because there's so much volume on this stock. So if I had 100 million shares and I'm just, you know, slowly covering as the stock price is going lower, 1,000 shares, buy, as it's crashing down, it wouldn't be that hard to cover, you know, 1 million shares. It really would not be that hard to cover. So right now, the current short interest is 20.6%. You can see here, we've got a total amount of shares out there short being 105 million. The shorts have to cover at some point, right? Like the shorts have to cover. What if they never actually have to cover because of one simple idea? Look at the chart. The price of the stock continues to go lower. If I'm shorting up here at the $40 level and the price is now $15.80, why do I have to cover? I'm making money, baby. I'm making money. The rate to borrow and all these things are starting to drop as well with the overall volatility on AMC starting to go down. So the idea that shorts have to cover, that I can hold my shares forever until shorts have to cover, well, that's just not a reality. That's just a fugazi, a made-up idea, a made-up theory based on nothing other than the fact that shorts do not have to cover, especially as the stock is going down, guys. The shorts are winning. The shorts who shorted at 40, they shorted at 50, they shorted at 60. They're in the green. They're really, really in the green at this point. So for anyone to say that the shorts are losing money every single day, well, that's just not the truth. It's really not the truth. So you have to understand that the shorts do not have to cover just because some imaginary person on the internet said that the shorts have to cover. Woo, baby, let's go. Breaking down the knowledge today. So that's one thing that I want to talk about. A lot of people really are confused about this. Looking at the Ortex data here, I don't actually, think there's really a ton of value here because these numbers have changed so much since June. Everyone's been looking at the Ortex data, been looking at the idea that Ortex, oh, look at the short interest, look at this, look at that. But the value of the stock continues to head lower and lower. So why do these numbers actually matter? I don't really think they matter at all because clearly it doesn't affect the stock price because the stock price continues to go lower. Also, I think there's a lot of confusion when it comes to short squeezes. If the price of the stock is going down, that's not a short squeeze. That's the shorts winning. So the idea that we're in a massive short squeeze, that at any moment this is going to blow up because of a short squeeze, well, looking here at all of the data and looking at the chart, it's clearly not painting the same picture that I'm seeing in terms of everybody basically believing that there's a massive short squeeze that's going to happen at any moment because all these shorts are going to get squeezed. But guys, the price of the stock is going down. I don't know how that works. I think the idea of a short squeeze has really been kind of misconstrued at this point because if the stock price is going down and I'm a short, I'm making money as the stock price is going lower. So why do I need to cover? I don't need to cover until the stock price starts to go back up. All right, so something else we need to talk about here, guys, is what's the actual value of AMC. And the thing that I want to point out here is we can just kind of go back in history here and look at kind of where has AMC kind of based at before and where has AMC kind of consolidated for quite some time, because that kind of shows us overall value. Now, I know that people are going to say that AMC had an amazing quarter here at the end of 2021, that they've, started to make a comeback here. But let's be honest, it wasn't because movie theaters are on the way up. It was just because of the overall environment, the holidays. You had some good movies coming out. Everybody has been cooped up because of isolation and, all the pandemic and all that. But looking here at the price of AMC over the last 10 years, basically at this point, you can see AMC's kind of bounced around this $20 level here for quite some time. It had a little bit of trouble. It then pulled back there in 2017. It kind of consolidated here off this level, this $10 level, and then got all the way down here to about $3 based on the idea of AMC basically going bankrupt, which, like I've said before, there's a very high possibility of AMC going bankrupt in the future because of the overall business and their debt, right? They've got a lot of debt. They're going to have a lot of interest payments coming in the future. You can see AMC was basing at that $20 level between the years of 2014 and 2017. They've had some pops, but overall kind of stuck there. This chart looks terrible from an overall perspective. Back there in 2015, 2017, it peaked and then has been selling off ever since. So from the highs there in 2016 to the lows, the price of the stock dropped almost 90%. So the stock basically was on its way out. And the only reason that AMC was able to survive really was because of the apes coming in and basically buying up all the shares that the company was offering to raise equity, and while the executives dumped all their shares on the apes. So it's an amazing story for Wall Street here to really screw over retail, while the retail thought that they were going to really screw over Wall Street. Oh man, this story gets better and better by the day. So again, all right, 2010 2. The thing about this is, before this massive move to the highs up to $70, there was only 100 million shares in the float total. 100 million total shares of AMC. All right, I'm doing this slowly so you guys can pick up on this. We got 100 million shares total in the float back there in 2020 when the stock price was around $2 to $8. I'm going to say fair value just to kind of give people some type of optimistic outlook here is, let's just say $8, right? That was $8 when there was what? 100 million shares total. Now, today in 2022, there are 500 million shares total in the float. So that's a 5 times growth in the overall amount of shares that are out there. Remember, supply and demand, my friends. So AMC had a fair value at $8 back there in 2020 when there was 100 million shares. And today there are 500 million shares. That's a 5 times increase. Maybe $1, maybe $2 fair value. If you think about the amount of dilution and the amount of shares that are now out there. So 500 million shares, comparing that to when there was 100 million shares, that would put the price of the stock around $2 or even lower, maybe below $1 actually. Well, my friends, there's still a lot of downside to come. If you look at this, let's say like best case scenario, AMC pulls back to the $4, we'll say $4 level from here. That's about another 70% drop from the $15 level. From the highs back there in June, if you bought, that's about a 90%, 94% drop. So for everybody out there who's holding and hoping and praying, there will come a point where you're in value, the investment in AMC could be totally worthless because of many reasons, not just because of Wall Street manipulation, but the company itself continuing to dilute the shareholders. So let's say now there are 500 million shares total in the float, and let's say they need to raise more equity in the future, which they will need to raise more equity. They're already refinancing debt, and now they've got to pay more interest. They've got to pay more on the debt that they have. Well, in the future, let's say they now increase the share size by 200, 300 more million shares total in the float. Now, what's the fair value then? I mean, you're looking at a sub $1 stock based on previous price levels and all of that on the stock. While the CEO was dumping, while the executives were dumping, while multiple funds were dumping shares of AMC, the apes continued to buy, and now the price of the stock continues to go lower and lower. So there are some facts that people cannot deny. It's very simple. The float has went from 100 million to 500 million. The value is now 5 times. You got to basically do the math there. So even 4 times, I don't know if exactly, but like I said, that puts the value of the company around maybe $2, maybe $4 here. So there's still lots of downside to come here on AMC. So I don't know about you guys, but I like to buy low and sell high. Unlike a lot of people out there that believe that buying high and waiting and then one day selling low is a better investment strategy. I don't know about you guys, but if you want to learn more about investing, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later on.